Okay, why are we killing these owls? That is the subject of today's video. And I'm speaking of the barred owl. Now, this is a very, very disturbing subject for me, and I spoke about this in detail on my Instagram channel a while back. And today, we're going to go through some of the bullet points, and we're going to talk about this a little bit, because this is absolutely the most insane thing that the Department of the Interior, I feel, has ever come up with. In 2023, there was a strategy by U.S. Fish and Wildlife. This is about the barred owls invading the territory of the spotted owl on the West Coast. So I'm going to read off. I have a sheet up here that gives me, some of the real bullet points here, and I just don't want to. I don't want to mistake anything, and this may not be 100% accurate. I mean, it is as far as what I'm going to read, but this is my opinion only, and this is something, like I said, this might be a little long-winded, but let's just, like, a lot of people don't even know this is going on. These creatures, these barred owls, and I'm going to put a couple photos up right now of these incredible owls. They are mainly found on the East Coast. And in New Jersey, I have a really nice population of them here. They have, beautiful families. They don't really hurt anyone. They definitely don't hurt anyone. They live in tree nooks. They have their nests. It's just, they're just a great owl. Good for the environment, I would say. I mean, they eat rodents. Listen, they're owls. They're animals. They've been here, I think, 10,000 years. These animals have been on this planet, so in the United States, we've decided that the barred owls who have moved west, is what's happening. So this is what I'm supposed to understand. They've moved west, which I'm sure is happening. The old growth forest. The key here is old growth forest. So what happens is they're moving away from here, and the population's growing on the East Coast, and it's pushing the owls west. The owls have found their way to the West Coast. Now, their partner in crime, or they're very, very much alike, is the spotted owl. It's definitely, there's less numbers of spotted owls. They're not endangered. I think they're on the list, but they're not endangered. As far as I can tell in my research, they are not an endangered species. They are protected as the barred owl is. They're protected from killing, just like a bald eagle in the Raptor Act. So they've moved out west. Now, the geniuses, the Department of the Interior, has said that they are better hunters than the spotted owl. And that is making the spotted owl population suffer, because they cannot achieve the food, and they're not as good of a hunter as a barred owl. So, that's a crazy thing. Yes, they said it's, since 1990 that the population has decreased 65 to 80%. There's way more barred owls. So I think, they feel that the barred owl is what's hurting this, which it may be, but the barred owl is not killing the spotted owl. The barred owl is just out hunting the owl. So, it's a crazy thing to me. This is nature at its finest. Survival of the fittest, whatever you want to call it, it is nature. So if there's so much information on this bill, and I remember when I first heard it, it was Senator Kennedy he spoke in front of Congress, and he showed photos, and he showed what it is, and he explained it, and it was funny. It was a really funny video. You can search it. It was a congressional hearing, and it was to vote on this bill, whether they were going to allow this to happen. So now they've green-lighted. In the United States, we have green-lighted, our government has green-lighted the killing of 500,000, 500,000 barred owls on the West Coast. So what it is it says federal strategy to reduce barred owl numbers to help spotted owls. The strategy was issued in 2024. It says that the Senate voted 72 to 25 for this. 72 to 25 to kill these owls. Okay? Estimated removal up to 450,000 barred owls. An annual removal of 15,000 maximum. Population contact spotted owls have declined sharply. $1.35 billion they're going to spend of taxpayer money to murder barred owls. And I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but that's what I call it. So I feel like, listen, these owls have been around way before us. They're going to be around way longer than us. If that is the problem, I think nature just needs to let it take over. And now they're going to put people in the forest. They're going to do it trained. They say they're going to have trained hunters out there taking care of them. Well, if people don't realize that owls are nighttime birds, they're nocturnal. They hunt in the evening. There's a rare time of the year that you do get them in the daytime. Not very often. Nesting season and stuff like that. They'll be out gathering food for the chicks and whatnot. But so you're telling me that you have these trained hunters that are going to go into the woods at night with a flashlight or some kind of a floodlight to get these owls and dispose of them with rifles, or I don't even know. And these people are not birders. They're not photographers. And I'm going to show a picture right now. This is the difference between a spotted owl and a barred owl. Now let's take this in for a second. If you can see the difference in those at a quick glance, if you're not a birder and you're watching this video, I mean, subtle difference. I've seen both of these birds. I would say they're a barred owl every time because I know barred owls. So I guess if you're a spotted owl person, you'd say that's a spotted owl. I mean, they're very close. So you're telling me that some guy at night that's going to make a certain amount of money per, I'm not even going to say the word kill anymore because I don't even know if that's a problem. So I always see it bleeped out. But the disposal of a bird, and that's their job. You're telling me they can tell the difference in those two at night with a flashlight? Impossible. And let's go one step further. Here is a juvenile barred owl, and I'm going to show you a real photo that I've taken of it. I mean, you could see in the graphic that I put up that they're almost exactly like, but they're white and furry. There's really no markings. There's really no way to tell them apart. And here's one right now that I photographed a few years ago or last year, and a cute little chick here. So like, look at that and tell me how, one, you're going to try to take that bird out of its misery. And I just don't see it. So then this leads me to believe why. Like, I think you need to ask the question, why? Why is this happening? You can't tell me that they're that concerned about the spotted owl. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to start shooting. They're going to start firing guns. And it's going to push these owls north. Okay? Just like any species. You start hunting them, it's going to push them out. So now you're going to totally disrupt the whole entire ecosystem where these owls reside. Old growth forests. Now I'm going to keep going back to that because this is what really matters. Old growth forests. Well, what are they good for? Timber. So it's been floated out there. Big timber. They're pushing this. Big business, big money. The trees out there, they need them. But if the owls are populated in there and they can't cut trees down, there's nests, there's birds, then the environmental people get upset about that, which I'm 100% for. But it limits the big timber from coming in. It limits what they can do in an old growth forest, which old growth forest gives you the best wood. It is not, this is not something that is hidden. It's not something that hasn't been fought about before. This is not a topic that we're staying away from because we feel like it's too touchy. I don't care if it's touchy or not. You're going to whack a bunch of these beautiful owls. For what reason? I don't know. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. Because they're better hunters. They don't kill the spotted owl. Barred owls don't harm the spotted owl. Actually, in certain situations, barred owls and spotted owls mate. And they do mate for life, and the barred owl does, but they actually mate and will produce offspring, the two species together, which makes it even more difficult, but they don't hate each other. That's like a bald eagle and an osprey. They don't get along, but they're not mating. They are both hawks in the scheme of things. But you can't kill ospreys because they're better hunters than eagles. And I can bring that up because I watch it every day. When I go photograph my ospreys in my little hotspot, there's bald eagles there. Those ospreys outfish the bald eagle 10 to 1. Now, they pull more fish out than them. They're divers. They can clean out a pond or a section of water so quick of the fish before the eagles can even touch it. Okay? Yeah, the eagles are lazy. They're lazy fishermen. Yes, eagles eat more than just fish. But the fact is, if there's a population of ospreys in a certain area, which I know the spot, are we going to say that we should start killing ospreys also because they're outfishing America's bird, the bald eagle? Which I'm sure this will be a hot subject no matter what. But I'm just speculating. It can go down the list. It goes down the list. It's like, I mean, there's a deer problem in the United States. That's population. That's harming drivers. The deer get overpopulated at farmers. I get all that, and it is a cruel thing. But hunting is that's an animal that can be hunted and harvested, and it can feed people in proper way. And if it's properly done, that's fuel. It's food. I get the deer thing. It's a shame in certain areas the deer are so overrun, and I get all that. But this is an owl. They live in the woods. They don't bother anyone. They're nocturnal. They're not hurting us, but we're going to hurt them because of an issue that, yes, this is what happens in nature. Things evolve, climates. But this is man-made. This is a man-made problem. Okay, this isn't that just the owls who've been in existence for thousands of years on the East Coast have just decided, hey, I'm tired of the East Coast. I'm going to shoot out to Washington State because I feel like flying across the country. That's not why it happened. It's happening because of what we're doing to the forests on the East Coast and what we're doing to the timber and everything else that's going on in this environmental quagmire that we live in. This is the problem. It's us. But so our answer is, we'll just get rid of them. That'll solve the problem and everyone will be happy. Well, is everyone happy because we're solving the problem, or is it a big timber issue? This can go on. I've posted this before and people will say, oh man, you're off base. They're hurting the spotted owl. Okay. All right. I guess there's two sides to it, but that is not what I'm saying. You're still executing an owl. We're not allowed to own an owl feather. You're not allowed to pick an owl up on the road. You're not allowed to rehab an owl by yourself. You got to call Fish and Game. They're protected by the Raptor Act. I think it was Roosevelt who put that into place. You can't own a crow. There's so many caveats to that, but you can't own an eagle feather. You can't take an eagle. There's a million things that you can and can't do with raptors, but we're green lighting after all this time. He's probably rolling in his grave right now, Roosevelt, with this. This is insane. All that legislation to protect these birds, and now we're greenlighting the execution of 500,000 of them. And we're going to pay for it. We're not only just doing it, we're paying for it. It's not a humane way to do it in my eyes, but whatever. I don't see how else you would do it. But it's not a cut and dry situation. When the bald eagle population was endangered in New Jersey, and it's now off the endangered species list because of the water pollution. Okay, once again, that's us. We put the eagles on the endangered species list, not the eagles, not a food issue, not a territorial issue. We did that to them. We took responsibility, fixed the problem. We can't take responsibility for this. Wait, we can. It has to do with the timber. It has to do with the old growth forest. It has to do with something else besides the spotted owl. The spotted owl is a scapegoat. Yes, their numbers have declined. If their numbers decline, it's nature. We're not God. We cannot do this. We can't make this decision from an office at the Department of the Interior that we're going to say that this is what we're going to do and this is why we're going to do it. I mean, like, I don't know. Every time I look at a photo like this of this mom here, this was the early days of her baby right here, taking the first flight. I mean, if you look at these birds and you don't feel sorry for what's going to happen to them, whether it's a competition or they're hurting another animal, but they're not physically doing it, I don't know. I don't know. I know this is going to be a controversial video. I understand that, you know, some of my beliefs may be radical. I don't think so. I just hope that this creates some discussion. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I mean, I have a sticker on my car, big whoop. I've called a couple things, big whoop. I would like to promote and do some posters for awareness. I mean, what can we do? Face it, it's already through. It already passed. I think we're not going to hear about it anymore. I mean, Senator Kennedy brought that up and it was excellent. And I think his speech was on point. He spoke to Congress and it was, you know, I thought it was a riveting speech. I mean, it was 25 minutes long. You can find it anywhere. And when I recited some of those lines that he did on Instagram, you know, Elmer Fudd in the woods with a flashlight and a gun, taking out a barred owl that he has no idea what it is and bringing it back for his reward and getting paid out of the government money to do this. It was funny the way he said it, but I mean, it's tragic to think about it. I mean, I don't know. So I put this out there and I'm going to do a whole nother video on the barred owl itself. Which I think is just more of a how to find them and photograph them. But they are one of my favorite owls. They're easy to find on the East Coast. I guess they're very easy to find on the West Coast from what everyone's saying. But, you know, like I'm going to put this graphic up right now and it's just a bullet point of everything I kind of spoke about. There's some facts in there. I'm going to put it up on the left side and the right side. And this is just the true hard facts of it. From what I can hear, this is stuff I pulled down. I made this little graphic up. It should be factual. And I like I said, this is a lot of this video is my opinion. I didn't want to I can come off way harsher than this, and I had to watch what I said, and I don't want to create too much of a stink. But these two graphics here kind of give you a bullet point of it. And I have tons more information on this. If anyone wants it, pop it into a comment. I'll be glad to correspond with you, give you more of my findings and my beliefs on this whole thing. And I'm not trying to accuse anybody. I'm not trying to say it's big timber. I'm not blaming a paper company. I'm not blaming I'm not going down that route, but everyone can put two and two together. And if you realize how government works in this country, and there is a bigger picture always. And if you ask those questions and you don't say like, yeah, it's just that, or yeah, I believe what they're saying. I think that when we wake up and we realize that there's something more here going on, I think that we'd be foolish not to ask. And if anyone has any suggestions of what we can do, I hope this video goes completely viral. I'm sure other people have talked about it, and I'm a nobody in the scheme of things. But the more we share it, the more we talk about it. If I'd be willing to do whatever I can. I was thinking about doing a poster campaign, selling some stickers, and trying to donate the money. But where are we sending it? And if someone has a place that we can send or help, or we can involve my Instagram followers and Facebook followers, and hopefully we can engage here and we can make a difference, I'm all for it. So I'm open to any suggestions. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for sticking with me on this long-winded, I would call it a rant, but it's more of an educational thing. A lot of people just don't even know what's happening. I just wanted to alert my followers and my viewers to this problem, and hopefully it's not as bad, or something goes, or I don't even know what can happen, but I just wanted to let everyone know, and I'm still very upset about it, as you might be able to tell. And thank you for tuning in. Please click and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments, 168 Wildlife on all other social media. And have a good day, everyone, and save the barred owl.